pleasure of recognizing his seniors.
Thank you for coming to Senior Day 2026. We have 3 outstanding seniors who've made a giant impact to our program. All 3 seniors are 4-year players for us. On the court, they've had a 68-38 record, have won a conference championship, have played in the NCAA tourney. Off the court, they have a 3.4 senior GPA. Just a decorated group of bright young men. I'm really bittersweet to see them go. They're great seniors. I'd like to introduce our first senior, John Witcher, escorted by his parents, Kelvin and Annie. Witch is a marketing and management major. He currently has the highest GPA on our team. He's the president of the business club. An academic all-achiever. One of the things that separates Witch is his intangibles as a person. He's an unbelievably good teammate. His bench energy is incredible. And if you see him with anyone, the way he treats people is amazing. I'm talking his teammates all the way down to Tom, our managers, all of them. He's a great human being. One of the other things I love about Witch, we've had a lot of talks in the office over the years, is he and I can tell the truth to each other. And it really makes you appreciate the fact that trust is a two-way street, and I love having those talks with him. Kelvin and Annie, you got a wonderful son, and he's going to be successful at everything. John Witcher. Our next senior is Don Trelleborg. Let's go ahead by his parents, Kurt and Bertie. Dom is a finance and economics double major. He's our captain. He's a 2-year starter. Last year he was an all-league CCIW player. But his career got off to a rocky start. His freshman year, he tore his ACL before we even got here. And watching him and his attitude and his effort, rehabbing that, I knew we had something really special. We had a special human being, and not because of ability, but I watched him do that. He drinks from a different cup of life. He's got passion. It's sometimes good, sometimes bad, but it's overflowing. I can tell you we lost a game earlier this year, and he texted me at midnight, and Coach, just tell me how to be a better leader. Tell me how I can help this team, how we can win. I want to be better. It's very cliche to say this, but when your best player is one of your hardest workers, and he's a great teammate, and he embraces leadership, it's really hard to not be good. Dom is the face of our program, and I'm extremely proud to say that. Dom Trelleborg. Our last senior is Sebastian Blahu, escorted by his high school coach, Billy Pitcher. Seb is an exercise science major. He's a captain and a 2-year starter. On the court, he's one of our top assist guys, a field goal percentage, best defender. He's truly an all-around player. But anybody who's been around him just knows how hard he plays. He's got the injuries and the scratches. I can tell you, we do a charity softball game every year, and he's the only person that's actually injured himself. He was out 2 weeks with a separated shoulder. He swung so hard. He plays and does everything hard, and I really appreciate that. He has improved every summer. He's a guy that whenever you talk to guys and say, come work, and you're going to get better, he has put in tons of time over the summers. He's gone from a 2-year reserve player to now a captain of a really good basketball team. That's a lot about his effort. Lastly, he is a humble, hardworking, and mentally tough guy. The unbelievable intangibles. You couldn't want anything else in person, and I'm so glad to have coached you. Seb Blahu. If we could we have one last round of applause for three great groups of seniors?
Well, you made it. Pause for a minute and think about all that you've done to get to this point. I'm delighted to officially welcome you to our 2024 New Student Convocation to Elmhurst University and to the ever-widening circle that includes the students, faculty, staff, and alumni of this great institution.
Transformative education happens not just in classrooms, laboratories, and libraries.
Throughout the university's history, our gymnasiums and playing fields have been the sites of wins and losses, but also of lifelong friendships formed and lifetime lessons learned.
If I could send a message to the donors, I'd thank them for everything, because I do everything that I do on this court because of them. I'm able to use these facilities to the best of my ability, and I'm able to do well in sports and academics because of them.
Welcome back inside RA Federal Hell on the GCIW network between the Elmhurst University BlueJays and the visiting North Park University Vikings. My name is Sam Corbett. We just got done watching the Elmhurst women trounce North Park, a blowout Blue Jay victory. The men looking to do the same. Elmhurst has clinched the 3 seed in the conference tournament. If things go their way, they could climb as high as the 2 seed, switch spots with Carthage, and earn a first-round bye in the 6-team conference tournament. But they'll have to get through North Park and get some help with a Carthage loss to Carroll. That game is about to tip off at the same time as this one. We'll have starters for you in a few minutes, but let's take a quick look at how these teams come into this ball game. Mentioned already, Elmhurst 17-7, 10-5 in the CCIW this year, and this is a tough place to play for opposing teams. Blue Jays 11-1 at home, coming off an 81-69 victory against Carroll, where they were down 44-43 at halftime. They outscored the Pioneers 38-25 in the second half, including an 18-2 run for almost 10 minutes of action. Trellenberg led the way. Dominic Trellenberg, 19-6-3. Aiden Boone, 15-6. Luke Smith, 14-3. Vinny Ajahong Beta, 12-8-4. And Jack Cherry off the bench with 8 rebounds and 5 assists. Meanwhile, for North Park, they enter today 14-10, 7-8 in the conference play. Currently the 4 seed, a big separation between the teams at the top and the middle of the pack in the CCIW. They had a hard-fought loss to number 13 ranked Illinois Wesleyan back on the 18th, 71-76. North Park was down as many as 21 in that ball game, and that was without Noah Cleveland. It was Kason Lawrence and Mason Funk who took over that ball game. Funk finished with 32, 3 points off his career high mark. Wesleyan lit up early from beyond the arc, making 5 of their first 8 from deep. Van Landingham led the way for the Vikings with 19 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals on the defensive side, but he did have 8 turnovers. Mike Vukovic, 16-6-3 and 2 steals for him. And William Bates, 12 points, an even dozen with 2 makes from beyond the arc. These two teams fought valiantly back in January, an 81-75 victory for the Blue Jays on the road inside Carlson Gymnasium in Chicago, where Dominic Trellenberg had a career-high 32-8. It was all him on that one. Sebastian Blahu, a nice secondary performance with 12 points. Boone and Smith each with 10. And the Blue Jays in that contest as well were up as many as 21. For North Park in that one, they did have a late-game push, 45 second-half points. Vukovic led the Vikings with 18-4. Van Landingham right behind him with 17-4. 10 apiece from Smith, Bates, and Garrison, and Cornish clearing up the boards and a couple of blocks as well. I'm going to turn it over to the public address announcer for the announcement of today's starting lineups.
Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to R.A. Fagnall Hall on the campus of Elmhurst University for today's NCAA men's basketball contest. Today's game features the visiting North Park University Vikings facing off against your Elmhurst University Blue Jays. Let's meet tonight's starters. First for the visiting Vikings. 6'2" senior, number 3, William Bates. 6'1" junior, number 4, Michael Vukovic. 6'2" senior, number 5, Colin Van Landingham. 6'6" junior, number 21, Lazario Cornish. And 6'4" freshman, number 25, Marquis Vance. Vikings are led by head coach Edwin McGee.
Dominic Trellenberg. 6'5",
Sunshine Mains.
It's the quick-tempo North Park Vikings who lead the CCIW with 85.7 points per game against the sharp-shooting Blue Jays, a top 40 national rank in shooting from beyond the arc for Elmhurst, 36.5%. Obviously leads the CCIW as well. Vukovic, Van Landingham, Bates, Vance, and Cornish for North Park. Boone to tip off against Vance alongside Ajahong Beta, Dominic Trellenberg, Luke Smith, and a reappearance of Sebastian Blahout. He had 22 minutes against North Central back on Valentine's Day, but did not appear against Carroll. Obviously, some extra gear on that right leg of Blahout, who's guarding Mike Vukovic. To the top of the key, Cornish. On the right side, Vance, guarded by Ajahong Beta, feeding Van Landingham down low. Colden, jumper over Trellenberg, rattles around and out. Van Landingham coming off of a D3Hoops.com National Team of the Week appearance. 2-game winners in 2 back-to-back games for Van Landingham, where he averaged 26. Here's Blahout, denied entry from Vukovic. Swung out to Ajahong Beta. Vance right on him. Vinny driving through the paint. The jumper rattles around. Cornish skies above the rest for the board. Vukovic double team now. Boone drops back. Swung down to Bates, feeding Cornish. Cornish back to Vance. Gets Ajahong Beta on his heels. Vance drives on the left side, and he gets the scoring going. Marquise Vance, just a freshman out of Marist High. Here's Boone now to the right side, Blahout. Bates staying right on him. With space, kick out to the corner, the 3-ball. Wide right, Trellenberg the offensive rebound. No luck for Luke Smith, but the Blue Jays will try again. They go back to Smith. Cross-court heave to Ajahong Beta, left wide alone in front of the Viking bench. Nobody boxing out Trellenberg in the putback. And a scary sight to see for the Blue Jays after Blahout missed the game against Carroll a few days ago. Blahout jumped the route early. That deep heave for Vance picked off. But it's still North Park basketball. Vukovic using Cornish as a brick wall screen. And a well-packed R.A. Fagano Hall. Plenty of Elmhurst fans in attendance today for the Senior Day festivities. Van Landingham driving, the layup is through. Colden lets the Blue Jay fans know. Boone, overhead heave to Trellenberg. Ajahong Beta now. On to Blahout. Defensive switch from the Vikings. There's a mismatch down low. Ajahong Beta on Vukovic. They go that way. Vinny backing him down. And Vance. Rather, Vukovic the foul. Vance dropped down to help out. But a reaching foul on Mike V. 7 to shoot. Trellenberg immediately front irons it. Off the ground, Vukovic the other way. Trying to go coast to coast. Through 2 defenders. Has a wide open Vance. Numbers game, when you got 2 guys on you, somebody's open. 94 feet of defense from William Bates on Vinny Ajahong Beta. Crossing the timeline with barely any room to spare. Talon Pearson to the scorer's table. On to Blahout. Blahout dribbling behind the back. Layup to the left side. Another tip in for Trellenberg. Second chance opportunity for Dom today. Vukovic again trying across the left side, leaving it for Cornish. 4-point Viking lead on the road. Smith to Blahout. Nobody picked up Smith in the paint. 3rd time for Trellenberg. Just tapped it in with the left hand only. Van Landingham tries a three. It swirls around and out. Smith back to Trellenberg. A deep three for Dom. Off the mark. Trying to emulate that 32-point performance he had in Chicago. Van Landingham able to drive through. Nobody picked him up. Going to be about stopping the ball movement today. This is a high-flying, quick-tempo Viking team. You see how fast Van Landingham is able to go coast to coast. Timeout on the floor, 10-6. Vikings up early, 15:49 to go in the half. Trellenberg's got all 6 Blue Jay points. Back in January when these two teams faced off, it went back and forth, a true slugfest to be expected in the CCIW. Mentioned the Blue Jays were up as many as 21. North Park clawed back and made it a game, but the Blue Jays battened down the hatches down the stretch. They had a 9-2 run over the final 2 minutes. Trellenberg inbounding to Smith. Pearson is checked in for Elmhurst. No subs for the Vikings. Second-year head coach Ed McGee keeps some tight rotations. Ajahong Beta feeding Trellenberg down low, and the shot over Bates is good. Our score, North Park 10, Dominic Trellenberg 8. Vukovic, step back three from the wing is true. A guy who's just south of 44% from beyond the arc this season. You have to respect Vukovic's ability. Ajahong Beta nearly pulls the trigger himself. On to Smith. On to Boone now. He'll put up a deep three. The response is off mark. Vukovic slowing things down now on to Van Landingham. Colvin back to Mike. Tied up with Vinny. Ajahong Beta rips it out of the hands. No jump ball, it's just an Elmhurst steal. Up the floor the other way, Smith. Feeding Boone down low. Boone too short, but a whistle called. William Bates tied up down low with the sophomore Aiden Boone. Another look. Smith keeping his eyes down floor, seeing the mismatch, and feeding Aiden Boone. Made his way to Elmhurst by way of Libertyville High School. 77% from the stripe this year. I misspoke. John Witcher was the first substitution. Talon Pearson on there now alongside Jack Cherry. We've got a number 12 and a number 21 with the same haircut. Forgive me. Boone goes 2 for 2. John Witcher, the third senior honored pregame alongside Blahud and Trellenberg. It's Pearson guarding Vukovic. One-on-one. Pearson pokes it out. Vukovic showing his palms to the sky, stunned with the no call. Felt like Vukovic had the step on Pearson. Witcher took one step to help out, but then kicked out to the corner. Vikings inbounding, Vukovic trapped, driving, and there's the whistle. Called on Pearson. So that'll send Vukovic to the line. 78% on the year. North Park as a team, 73%. That's third best in the conference. Quite possibly the most deliberate breath taker in the CCIW at the line. Holds that right arm in front. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Doesn't work that time. He goes 1 for 2. 4-point Viking lead. 14 minutes remain in the first half. Vance with tight defense on Pearson. Pearson, great pass on to a cutting backdoor John Witcher. As E.J. Marshall heads to the table. Van Landingham double teamed. North Park ball. Marshall will spell Witcher. Marshall had a fine game against Wheaton 10 days ago. Gave the Thunder a dozen off the bench. Vukovic to Bates. Right back to Mike. Wants to pull it. Instead, out to Colden. Almost had Trellenberg to pop. Nowhere to go. 5 to shoot for Vukovic. Spinning in the paint. Mike off the glass and in. Vukovic has 6 of the Vikings' 16. Diving on the floor. It's Tyven Garrison who poked it out. The recently checked in Vikings senior. And a foul on E.J. Marshall will send William Bates to the line. Bates, an even better shooter at the stripe, 84%. A tough break on the road for Bates. An even worse beat. Still a 4-point Viking lead, Blue Jays. With Pearson trapped onto Marshall. Wants Trellenberg to cut on over to Cherry. Jack Cherry looking for Trellenberg. Cross-court heave to Pearson. Tried to throw it off of Garrison. Here come the Vikings. Bates all the way. Wanted to pass off to Vukovic, but Marshall got a hand on it. Cherry speeding things up now. And Bates shaken up. Hobbling. Ajahong Beta to the table alongside Jerome Smith Jr. for North Park. Ajahong Beta will send Trellenberg to the bench. Smith will be the Bates replacement. 26 on the shot clock for Elmhurst. Cherry inbounding. He just has to get rid of it. Aiden Boone, right down Broadway. Nobody stopped ball. Boone said, thank you for the 2 points. Smith onto Garrison. Swung out. Vukovic will pop a 3, and he swirl it through. Van Landingham a step behind Cherry. Boone overhead heave to Ajahong Beta. Vinny for 3. Can't respond, but he crashes the boards for his own rebound. Second life for the Blue Jays. Ajahong Beta 0 for 2 now from deep. One of the best shooters from three-point range in the conference. Cherry spinning from the elbow, no good. Van Landingham up ahead to Vukovic. Vukovic one-on-one. And another 2 points for Mike V. He's into double figures. Ajahong Beta driving with the left on Cornish. And a hard fall. Foul called on Lazario. Ajahong Beta now to the line, 75% his season mark. Vance back on for the Vikings. Blahout alongside Andy Colvin for the Blue Jays. Colvin's gotten some more minutes during these last couple of contests in the second go-around of the CCIW slate. Freshman forward from Duggar, Indiana, and Premier Prep Academy to match up against Cornish. Ajahong Beta can't connect. Vukovic will draw Marshall on defense. 4v4 on to Vance. Crossing up, rejected from behind, but a foul called on Colvin. Had that initial move to get away from Ajahong Beta, but Colvin, good job reading his movement. Just whacked enough of the arm to draw the whistle. So that'll send the freshman Marquise Vance to the stripe. An area of his game he'd like to improve, 57% from the line this season. Lengthy routine for Vance. He'll go 1 for 2. Back tipped into the hands of Cornish. And Van Landingham and Blahout get tied up. Blocking foul called on Blahout. It allows the Vikings to reset. 15 on the shot clock. Vukovic again driving on the left side, almost loses it. Step back three from the wing. Side iron and out. Blahout the other way. His team trails by 8. Largest Viking lead so far, 9 minutes down in the first half. To Ajahong Beta, now Colvin. Back to Vinny. Circling around, driving, count the basket. He'll go to the line to attempt a three-point play. Absorbs the contact and finishes. The sophomore from Moline. And Cornish with 2 fouls will have to go to the bench in place of Julian Campbell. Campbell, the former Carthage Firebird, now calling Chicago his home instead of Kenosha. As Ajahong Beta completes the three-point play. Campbell and Ajahong Beta, true forwards, but they're dangerous from deep. Campbell's first field goal try, no good. It's Ajahong Beta now. To the right side, Colvin. Overhead heave to Marshall. Great pass to Colvin down low. He's stood up by Van Landingham. Colvin through traffic the other way onto Mike. Ball stripped into the hands of Vance. Colvin the block. Ajahong Beta picks it up off the ground. Here come the Blue Jays now. Blahout spinning to the corner. Colvin catch and shoot 3. Too much on it. Halfway through half number 1. 5-point Viking lead, 22-17. Trellenberg back to the scorer's table. Ja'Kai Gray. Coach Ed McGee's response. Jerome Smith, great extra pass to Campbell. Got the Blue Jays to bite on that shot fake. And a timeout called. 7-point Viking lead as they try to spoil the Blue Jays Senior Day from R.A. Fagonell Hall right here on the CCIW Network. Ja'Kai Gray checking in for North Park, the junior guard from Naperville. Not quite a reunion, but back in the western suburbs. Graduated from Mattia Valley High School. He'll be face guarding Sebastian Blahout. Dominic Trellenberg, the Elmhurst substitution during the break. Back to the Blue Jays starting 5. Blahout, Trellenberg, Smith, Boone, and Ajahong Beta. Gray now on Smith. Step back jumper from the line is good. Gray looking for a shove call. not going to get the whistle, and the Blue Jay faithful loving that last possession. Vukovic to Smith, jabbing, feeding. Campbell right back to Jerome. The shot over Smith, no good. Van Landingham can't jump the route. Boone going up, and a foul on Campbell. The big man's not happy with the call. He'll add an extra slam of the basketball. Take another look. Boone midair decides to go back to the right side. Campbell not able to correct his body in time, and Boone right back to the line where he was 2 for 2 last time. It's a Wendy special, 4 for 4. Boone from the line tonight. 3-point Viking lead, 24-21. Felt like just a second ago the lead was 8. Gray, catch and shoot 3, sent into the stands. Ajahong Beta the block. And the crowd loving it. Vukovic through 3 defenders. No good. Campbell's putback falls through. Vukovic is a guy who really emphasized the weight room this offseason, added a lot of weight to that frame, some extra size, and it's been a big part of his game, as that's a phenomenal move by Luke Smith. Jerome, back to Julian, 4-3! The crowd looking around like, wait a minute, that guy can pull the trigger? Yes, he can. Campbell from beyond the arc this year, 33%. But Vukovic, who's added so much size, has just been fearless, driving to the cup. He leads North Park with 11. Blahout back to Luke Smith. 5 to shoot. Luke Smith for 3. Front iron, Ajahong Beta, the one-handed rebound. Cross-court heave, right back to Luke, on to Blahout. Sebastian to the corner, feeding Boone. His try from deep, off the mark. Jerome Smith Jr., the junior from Chicago, on to Vukovic. Vukovic drawing 2 defenders. Ja'Kai Gray, nowhere to go. Long pass to Jerome, trying to drive on Trellenberg. Back to Vukovic. He'll put up a straightaway 3, wide left. Vance and Marshall to the table. Luke Smith thought about driving baseline. Kick out back to Boone. He'll try a 3 from this side of the court. One possession ball game. Blue Jays looking for a stop. Gray trying to feed Campbell. Ajahong Beta with a foul called on him. He's certainly not happy with it. And for the first time today, we'll see the freshman from Omaha, Nebraska, number 34, Harrison Long. A guy who has done everything to prove second-year head coach Ed McGee that this kid needs to be getting some high-quality minutes. Of course, Ed McGee knows what number 5 can do. Van Landingham just bodies everyone to the basket. 6 minutes to go before the halftime intermission from R.A. Fagenal Hall. It's a 5-point Viking lead, 31-26. Luke Smith, guarded by the freshman, will swing it to the left side for Boone. On to Marshall. EJ, eyes on the rim. He'll pull the trigger, and he swirls it home. Van Landingham now. On to Jerome. Smith to Long. Long, not necessarily the biggest scorer for this team. It gets it in the hands of Vance. Vance off the glass. Too much on it. Ajahong Beta, another rebound. That's his 6th. Up the floor to Smith. Smith has his pocket picked. Vikings out in front, 3-on-1. Jerome, the floater over Marshall. Smith sinks it home. Pearson and Vukovic ready to check back in for their respective programs. Ajahong Beta trying to get away from Jerome Smith Jr. And Jerome Smith wrapping up Ajahong Beta for a foul.
16 fouls on the Vikings.
Smith will stay out there. Vukovic will actually spell Ja'Kai Gray, as Luke Smith will check out for Marshall. Blue Jays in the bonus with that one, so that'll send Ajahong Beta to the line. Dylan Fuzak ready to check in for the first time tonight. Ajahong Beta 1 of 3 from the free throw line today. One of 4. Good job from Vance to box out and get that rebound with just the one hand. Elmhurst just 2 of 11 from deep today. Taking a look at the numbers as that ball was just thrown out by Van Landingham. Him and Fuzak not on the same page. Van Landingham trying to bounce back after a rough game against Wesleyan. 8 turnovers for Colden in that one. But Elmhurst, a top 40 team shooting from beyond the arc nationally this year. 36.5%. They're 2 of 11. That's 18%. Boone trying to add to that percentage. No good. Gets his own rebound. Spinning on Vance. And a crafty play from the sophomore. Count the basket for Aiden Boone. He'll have a chance for a hoop and a harm. It felt like Vance had his feet set. Blue Jays get the whistle and a chance to bring this to a 1-point ball game. 33-31 with Boone at the line. Vukovic crossing the logo, driving past Marshall, and no whistle. Vukovic just coughed it up through contact. Boone driving on Fuzak this time. Boone hits the deck. No whistle on that of the floor either. Van Landingham with a foul on Marshall. That's his 2nd. North Park still not in the single bonus. Ajahong Beta quickly back out on the floor for Marshall. Vukovic to inbound, 24 seconds on the shot clock. Ajahong Beta slipped. Inbound not designed to go to Vance though. It's Vukovic in the corner. Dropping down to a knee but keeping his dribble. Van Landingham, a deep 3. Off the mark. Trellenberg back to Ajahong Beta. Jack Cherry circling beyond the arc. Guarded by Long. Now to Trellenberg, feeding Boone down low. Boone again on Vance. This one doesn't go his way. Out of his hands, into Long's. Van Landingham trying to get the offense going. He's only got 6 points. Three minutes to go in half number 1. A cutting Colden off the left side. Gets a whistle. Foul called on Cherry. Pardon me, it's on Dominic Trellenberg instead. That sends the Vikings into the single bonus. Van Landingham for the 1-and-1. Colvin struggled at the free throw line against Wesley, and he missed 6 of them against the Titans. And the Blue Jays, the beneficiaries, 2:49 to go. Cherry with Vukovic in his face. On to Pearson. Tajahong Beta. It's stolen away by Vance. Trying to corral the ball. The one-handed floater, no good. Vukovic, the rebound over Cherry. Second chance opportunity sinks through for the Vikings. Cherry with nowhere to go. Tajahong Beta. 4 seconds. 3. Blue Jays have to cross the timeline, and they're forced to call a timeout instead. And Ed McGee, second-year head coach of the Vikings, pointing to that shot clock. That does have 20 seconds on it. It's one of the most animated moments I've seen from Coach McGee this year. I've had the pleasure to call some North Park games at home alongside Gregory Sager. And he's got a valid argument, at least to take a second look. And they have added an extra second to the shot clock. Trellenberg to inbound. It's Ajahong Beta to Cherry. Has a cutting Trellenberg. Elbow jumper. Can't connect. Van Landingham bodying up Pearson for the board. Sending him flying, and it's an offensive foul. Nine team fouls for the Vikings. Still 2 minutes to play in the half. Lahoot to Trellenberg. Top of the key, Lahoot wants a screen. Vance on him. And that'll be foul number 10. And Ed McGee now just laughing. Take another look. Whistle was called. Sebastian Blahout to the line, 70% from the stripe this season. And he sinks them both. 2-point ball game. 90 seconds to go before the halftime. Vukovic leads all scorers today with lucky number 13. A screen from Fusak. Mismatch. Mike V on Aiden Boone. Cutting backdoor. Tyven Garrison finishes the possession. Really felt like Vukovic wanted to pull that jumper from the stripe. Instead, keeps the ball moving and brings the lead back to 4. Blahout from the wing. Kick out, Trellenberg, three-pointer. Front iron, no good. Back tipped, but into the hands of Vance. Van Landingham directing traffic. Back to Vukovic. Vikings running the weave. Fusak setting a screen. Vukovic, layup left side. And again, it works for Vukovic. Shot clock turned off. Luke Smith back on for Sebastian Blahout. And Ja'Kai Gray will replace Marquise Vance. 25 seconds to go in this first half of action. Back up to a 6-point Viking lead. Blue Jays can hold for the final shot. You have to imagine that's what they'll do. Cherry at half court. Now double teamed. Up in the air for Ajahong Beta. Step back three over Gray. Wide left, no good. Vukovic sent flying to the floor with Vinny. And a jump ball called. But that's how the half will end. 20 minutes down, North Park 39, Blue Jays 33 from R.A. Fagenal Hall.
I transferred here from College of DuPage. Transferring to Elmhurst from COD has been amazing. It's just such an easy process. Just getting the paperwork done, making sure you have all your credits. It was really important to me too, just because I'm the first in my family to go to college in the United States. So they made sure that I have everything that I need to make sure that I do succeed here. The advice I would give to fellow community college students would be to come visit the campus. There's always students here that know the life and everything that's going on around here. And also plan out your next move with the counselors. What classes you want to take at Elmhurst, or maybe if the better move is to stay and get a couple classes done and then transfer. Really, the counselors are amazing because they're your, one-stop shop to making sure you get everything done in order to succeed at Elmhurst. You come in here and it just feels really comfortable and you just feel like you're reaching a really great goal in your life.
I take most of my classes at Triton College, and then I take a class or two at Elmhurst to kind of get a feel of like what I want my plan to be when I come here and get a feel of the whole campus with clubs and activities and everything. I think the major difference between the two is that Elmhurst really is a community sense, while as the two-year university, you're really preparing to move on. So those professors are really striving to teach you everything that they can within the short period that they have you, while as in a four-year university, they have you for a little bit longer so they can really develop a relationship with you and help you grow as a person. It's awesome to be able to feel at home at a four-year university before you fully commit.
Well, you made it. Pause for a minute and think about all that you've done to get to this point. I'm delighted to officially welcome you to our 2024 new student convocation to Elmhurst University and to the ever-widening circle that includes the students, faculty, staff, and alumni of this great institution.
Amanda Passmore. I'm the Director of Graduate Programs in the School of Education here at Elmhurst University. In the School of Education, we have two main graduate programs. We have one focused in teacher leadership, as well as one focused in special education. First of all, you're just going to gain knowledge in what is the most up-to-date, evidence-based practices in your given content area. You're also going to develop those soft skills. So you're going to really learn about what are adult learning principles, what are the systems that encourage change in both a classroom, a school community, and in a district. So you're gonna learn those big picture kind of ideas. You're also going to build your own self-efficacy. And what I mean by that is the ability to see a problem and know how to attack it. So as a classroom teacher, you are gonna learn new skills to increase student engagement, to just improve learning outcomes for students. We're really seeking to go beyond just teaching you knowledge and skills. We're asking you to apply those and think about those in the context of being a leader, which I think when you're going to get an advanced degree, you're wanting to step into leadership roles. Many of our faculty have been teachers themselves, so we know what it means to be going to school, but also working a full-time job. So classes are gonna be offered in the evening, and we're gonna use a hybrid model, which means some weeks you'll be doing asynchronous online learning, whereas other weeks you might be in person. So there's lots of various formats that we utilize to ensure that yes, you can really get this graduate degree and meet your professional goals while also remaining in your job and doing the best job you can do there. You're also going to have a really supportive cohort of lots of individuals with lots of different backgrounds. So even though I may be teaching in an elementary school and you may be in a high school, and we're learning about effective assessment in the classroom, we're gonna talk about what that looks like for our unique context, and we're gonna learn from one another. I think, yes, you can get content knowledge everywhere, but what's really gonna be valuable in a graduate program is the faculty, advisors, and people who are gonna mentor you along the way. Because yes, you're gonna learn in the classroom, but you really want those people who know you as an individual and can support your specific desires and dreams as a graduate student and as an educator and as a teacher leader or a special educator. And I really think at Elmhurst University, there's a cohort and a supportive faculty who's gonna support you in doing that.
My name is Crystal Paunan. I'm the Program Director for the Masters of Science in Nursing program here at Elmhurst University. Our MSN program is meant for those who already have earned their nursing degree, passed their NCLEX exam, and are ready to take that next step in their professional journey. Here at Elmhurst, we have 3 specialty tracks that you can focus in during our MSN program. The first is our CNL, or Clinical Nurse Leader. This is a nurse generalist that focuses at improving patient outcomes at the bedside. We have our Nurse Educator track, and that focuses either in the hospital setting or in academia. And finally, we have our Nurse Administrator track, and that focuses either at the management level or executive. The MSN program has been built with the busy nurse in mind. We appreciate that our students do work full-time, and so they are trying to navigate fitting work, life, school all together. And so for that reason, we do have classes that run 7 weeks long. They meet once a week. And then within our second year, we then bring our students in and help them with navigating their clinical, which they work with their preceptor to build their schedules so that they can find that balance that works best for them. What sets the MSN program apart from others is that we do have a hybrid program which blends the best of both worlds. It provides you the flexibility, but also provides you that in-person experience to increase engagement and create that connection with your faculty. In your second year, you will get clinical time, and we provide you with the resources to be able to connect you with a mentor that will be out and precept you at the clinical site. We also have wonderful faculty that serve as mentors for those in our educator program. Elmhurst University provides a unique experience for each student. There's a personalized approach to your learning, to providing you resources. You create this connection with your faculty and with those within the program. It's why so many of our students return back to get their master's and even doctoral now. Students do have the option to participate in our MBA dual degree program. This is a one-year program that students will complete after their MSN courses. The advice I'd give to any student who's thinking of furthering their career and advancing their degree is to take the plunge. It may seem scary at the time, but the good news is that here at Elmhurst we have faculty who are here to support you. We have faculty who will bring such a wealth of knowledge, and you'll get a wealth of knowledge from the students that are around you. We're here to support you from the beginning, middle, and until you walk across that stage. Going back to get your master's degree provides you not only with an opportunity for personal growth, professional opportunities, but it also gives you an opportunity to give back to nursing and better the health of the community.
When I graduated in 2020 with my undergrad, I knew I wanted to continue my education. It was a natural choice to come back to Elmhurst. I had grown to know and love the faculty, the students, the environment, the curriculum, the flexibility behind the MBA program. Since I didn't really have a specialization, I took that time to take entrepreneurial classes, marketing classes, to see which path I really wanted to take. And in doing so, that allowed me to kind of figure out what I wanted to do afterwards. An exciting thing that the MBA has enabled me to do, I have two different perspectives, one of my own obviously, but also from my profession. I do talent acquisition, so I'm able to review resumes and applications of people who have and do not have master's degrees or MBAs, so I know the real life implications of having an MBA. For myself, it just allowed me the opportunity to take that extra step in my education and help to understand which direction I wanted to go. If you're looking for an opportunity to connect with others, to build networks, this is a great opportunity to do that. There's a small class size. They focus on team building and projects revolved around that. So Elmhurst gives you that opportunity to, not only see what you're good at, maybe learn from others and see how they work and how they work with others and how you could maybe expand upon that. If it wasn't for Elmhurst, I don't know what I'd be doing right now.
20 minutes down, 20 more to go from RA Falconer Hall. It's the CCIW men's basketball regular season finale between the North Park University Vikings and the Elmhurst University Blue Jays. Elmhurst honoring their seniors prior to today's matchup. Sebastian Blahu, Dominic Trellenberg, and John Witcher, the four-year members of the Blue Jay program. North Park trying to spoil the Senior Day festivities. They hold a 6-point lead as we begin half number 2, and a quick look between the two Wisconsin members of the CCIW. Through the first half, Carthage leads 31-30, and that matters because a Carthage loss to Carroll would see the Blue Jays climb to number 2 in the conference standings. Granted, Elmhurst has to take care of business here on their home floor first. As we get ready for half number 2, Dominic Trellenberg to inbound. He's joined on the floor alongside Luke Smith, Aiden Boone, Vinny Adjahong Beta, and Sebastian Blahout. For North Park, Mike Vukovic, Lazario Cornish, Tyven Garrison, Marquise Vance, and Colvin Van Landingham. I'm Sam Corbett, bringing you this matchup on the CCIW Network. Thanks for joining me. Sebastian Blahout driving past Garrison. Blahout gets the scoring going in half number 2. In the first half, Blahout held to just 2 points. Only one Blue Jay in double figures. That was Aiden Boone with 11. Trellenberg behind him with 8, including the first 6 points of the night for the Blue Jays. Vukovic in the corner, he leads all scorers with 15. Pull-up jumper over Blahout, too strong. Into the hands of Vinny Adjahong Beta. 6 points decided these two teams' fates back in Chicago in January. Blue Jays stole one on the road. North Park trying to repay the favor as Trellenberg responds. Trellenberg's now into double figures. Lazario Cornish going through traffic. Kick back out to Tyven Garrison. On to Vukovic. Guarded by Blahout. Mike in the paint. Rattles around and out, no good. Ball on the ground, picked up by Boone. Sebastian up ahead the other way. Blahout trying to work around Cornish. Lazario right on him. Back to the right side, Trellenberg. Luke Smith, cross court, heaved Adjahong Beta. Now Blahout. Deflected by Cornish, back into his hands. Blahout for 3. Off the mark. Boone can't get the rebound, but Adjahong Beta can. Luke Smith retreating all the way back to center court. Great feed to Trellenberg. No look pass to Adjahong Beta, and he finishes it home. Van Landingham. Just past the reach of Cornish, who had to swat it out of bounds. 6-0 Blue Jay run to start the half, 39 all. We'll see the Viking press. Vance right on Smith. Over to Adjahong Beta. Vinny crossing the timeline. Nowhere to go. He's trapped. Handing off to Blahout. Feeding right back to Vinny. Spinning on Garrison. Left it short off the glass, but a whistle. Bad beat for Garrison. Take another look. Does a good job checking him with the body, and then Garrison leans too much back into him. So Adjahong Beta to the stripe. 1 of 4 in the first half. And for the first time today, the Blue Jays have a lead. Adjahong Beta has now got 7. Vukovic to Van Landingham. Colvin driving on 3 defenders. Can't see it fall through the cords. He'll head to the line regardless. Foul called on Dominic Trellenberg.
First team foul. Van Landingham.
Trellenberg's second. Van Landingham now to the line. Missed his lone opportunity in the first half on the back half of a 3-point play. And a Hoosier Father chant breaking out inside R.A. Fagano Hall. Plenty packed with Blue Jay faithful. And a much better showing from Van Landingham, I mentioned earlier. Struggled with free throws against Wesleyan, and at times this season will rush the routine. Slowed himself down, and we're tied at 41-all. Ajahong Beta looking to feed Trellenberg. Tyven Garrison showing off the football skills. Football skills, that is. Kickball violation, 17 minutes remain. Luke Smith to Ajahong Beta. A mismatch in favor of Vinny. Vikings switch, now Cornish on him. 7 to shoot for Blahu. Fadeaway jumper, wide left, Trellenberg, the one-handed rebound, the putback, no good. Ball still on the ground, Garrison finally picks it up. Van Landingham double teamed, wide alone for Cornish, who finishes through contact. Trellenberg the other way. They'll slow it back down. Let the Blue Jays group up. Here's Boone, handing off for Trellenberg. Wanted to pull the three, he'll retreat. 10 to shoot. Trellenberg to Boone. Feeding Ajahong Beta, Van Landingham denies, and Vance picks up the loose ball. Nobody has more steals per game in the CCIW than Colvin Van Landingham. And Vance on the other end. Marquise going all the way to the cup. 4-point Viking lead, 45-41 with 15:50 to go. They're swag surfing in Elmhurst. E.J. Marshall joins the action in the second half. For North Park, Harrison Long back on the floor. Just the one substitution for both teams. Long right on Luke Smith. Nowhere to go. Pass up ahead to Ajahong Beta. Great ball movement from the Blue Jays. It's E.J. Marshall back to Vinny. Continued to be swung beyond the arc. Marshall looking for an option. He's got Trellenberg. Now Ajahong Beta backing down Vance. Vinny, turnaround jumper from the line. No good. Van Landingham up to Long. Good jab move. Good spin. Good finish. The freshman Harrison Long brings the lead back up to 6. And the North Park bench loving it. Smith getting around Vukovic. Past the reach of Ajahong Beta. But somehow Trellenberg keeps it alive. Marshall with 10 to shoot. Now Smith. Back out to Ajahong Beta. Trellenberg quickly over Van Landingham, too strong on the floater. Up the floor, Long going all the way. Sent back down to the hardwood by Ajahong Beta. Smith upping the tempo on the other end of the floor. Good fake. And a chance for a three-point play. Hoop and a harm, Van Landingham the culprit. Once he got past Vukovic, there was no stopping him. And that extra fake to sell the defense, anticipating the pass to Boone. So Luke Smith to the stripe. On the year, 81%, one of the better marks on this Blue Jay team. One possession lead for the Vikings, 47-44. Step back three-pointer for Van Landingham, wide right. Marshall spinning. The shot over Cornish, floats through. Julian Campbell ready to check in. Van Landingham trying to get his offensive side going. Still in single digits with 8. Vance down low to Cornish. Cornish working on Boone. Too short. But a whistle and a hard fall from Cornish. A second viewing.
Cornish to the free throw line with 2 shots.
Cornish, just 2 points today. Make it 3. Cornish knocking down 2/3 of his tries from the line this season. And he'll go 2 for 2 on that trip. He'll head to the bench. Julian Campbell replacing him. No moves for the Blue Jays as John Baines looks on. Year 13 at the helm, rounding out his regular season today. Both teams will be in the conference tournament. It's just a matter of what seed each of them are. And a 10-second violation. Vikings trying to pull away to make this more than a one-possession ball game. Vukovic met by E.J. Marshall. On to Colden. Van Landingham, kick out back to Vukovic in the corner, and he stepped out. Teams trading turnovers, and a timeout is called. John Baines blows the whistle. 13:23 remaining from R.A. Falconell Hall, 49 North Park, Elmhurst 46.
Elmhurst University Athletics would like to thank Under Armour and BSN Sports for being the official apparel partners of the Blue Jays. Serving the heart of the game since 1972, BSN Sports partners with schools to elevate the student experience in sport, spirit, and achievement. Under Armour aims to inspire you with performance solutions you never knew you needed and can't imagine living without. Under Armour has been proudly serving athletes since 1996.
3-point shooting has not been there today for Elmhurst, a team that's among the best in Division III. 2 of 15 from deep. That's a 13% mark through this contest so far. Luke Smith got across the logo. He finally does. He'll get it over to Boone. Now Marshall with a screen. EJ with a mismatch, pulling a shot over Campbell. Too much on it. Vance the rebound. Up the floor the other way. Vukovic on to Van Landingham, feeding the big fella down low. Campbell puts it home. 5-point Viking lead. Trellenberg to Smith. Up the floor, Talon Pearson, who recently checked in. Pull-up jumper from just inside the stripe is good. Vukovic retreating. Back to Campbell. Julian has his pocket picked from behind. Boone up ahead, one-on-one. Aiden on the right side. Spins it home. Van Landingham handing off for Vukovic. Cross court to Long, handing off for Vance. Colvin. Campbell backing down Boone. Vukovic with 12 to shoot. Kick out Long. Catch and shoot three. Green! North Park's fourth make from beyond the arc today. Trellenberg going for an immediate response, and he buries it. Van Landingham wanted to try one. Instead, he's feeding the unit. Campbell up strong, rattling through. The reigning first-year Student Athlete of the Year when Campbell was a member of the Firebirds. Trying to spark this visiting offense. Back to a three-point lead. E.J. Marshall with some separation on Vance. Swung out to Pearson. He's got a quick release, but he's off the mark. Colvin and Cherry at the table for the Blue Jays. Long in a one-on-one. Back to Van Landingham. Two screens for Colvin. Tried to feed Campbell again, but Boone read the pass the entire way. Smith shimmying, back to Trellenberg, on to Boone. Got Campbell to pop. Trellenberg, another shot from deep. Back iron, no good. Pearson saves it into the hands of Vukovic. One Viking, three Blue Jays. Vukovic not slowing down. And a whistle, believe it's going to be on Trellenberg. It is the third foul of the night called on Dominic Trellenberg, and Mike Vukovic gets a trip to the stripe. One of two so far today.
Vukovic at the free throw line. Two shots.
Sebastian Blahu and Vinny Ajahong Beta. So it's a line change for Elmhurst except for Trellenberg. Jerome Smith Jr. back out on the floor. He'll replace Harrison Long. Cherry, Ajahong Beta, Colvin, and Blahu. The new Blue Jays on the court. 4-point Viking lead. Cherry into the hands of Blahu. Back to Cherry. Cherry nowhere to go, has it stolen by Vukovic. One-on-one over Colvin, and Mike's going right back to the line. Second foul on Colvin this evening. Rosario Cornish to the table. Vukovic. A deep breath and a shot. Cornish on, Campbell off. And the corresponding chest move from John Baines will be Aiden Boone in place of Colvin. Vukovic brings the lead back to 6. Ajahong Beta bringing the ball up the floor, guarded by Van Landingham. Back to Cherry. Handing off for Trellenberg. .12 to shoot for Cherry. Looking for anything close to the cup. He'll take it there himself. Kick out back to Blahu. Three-pointer over Van Landingham. Yahtzee. Vukovic. Looking to Ed McGee for instructions. To the corner, Jerome Smith Jr. On to Vance, back to Mike. Double team, swung out to Vance. He'll pop a three. Can't connect. Loose ball. Finally picked up by Boone. Cherry to Boone. Wants someone to cut, instead back to Blahout. Blahout pulls the trigger. Off the mark. Trellenberg tipping it to Ajahong Beta. Vinny finishes. 1 point Viking lead, under 9 minutes to play. Cornish to Vukovic. Shot clock winding down. 10 for Van Landingham, charging and collecting. Van Landingham into double digits. And a foul on Jerome Smith Jr. Third Viking team foul of the half. Blue Jays with 4 of them. Cherry circling, trying to get around Smith. Jerome's not letting him. Kick out Boone. He'll pop one from deep. And he'll stroke some chords. We're tied at 61. Smith, an immediate response. Ajahong Beta now double team. Van Landingham drops back. It's one-on-one, him and Vance. Campbell and Garrison to the scorers table. Ajahong Beta to Boone, an off-ball foul. Third foul on Van Landingham. He'll stay on the floor. These two teams were in a dogfight in Chicago a month ago. Looking to be more of the same in the western suburbs. Boone, great pass, and the flush. Trellenberg with a smile to the student section. Campbell has it stripped from behind. Smith to inbound underneath the cup. Quickly on to Campbell, and off the glass and in. Cherry looking for an option. He's got Ajahong Beta. Double teamed, back to Cherry. Bouncing off of Smith, driving all the way to the rim, but he can't finish. 7 minutes remaining. Van Landingham crossing up Trellenberg. And the circus layup from Van Landingham. Going up and around. And a jump ball on the floor goes to the Vikings. Ajahong Beta. Tied up with Garrison. And a chest bump from Garrison and Smith. Five-point Viking lead, looking to add. Jerome to the left side. Blazing past his defender and sinking it through. Timeout on the floor. Vikings are loving what they're seeing. 6:29 remaining. Vikings at 70 points. Blue Jays at 63. Trying to play spoiler on Senior Day. Still plenty of action left from R.A. Fagano Hall right here on the CCIW Network. Ajahong Beta, Blahout, Smith, Boone, and Trellenberg for Elmhurst. Garrison, Smith, Campbell, Vukovic, and Van Landingham for North Park. Out of the timeout, Ajahong Beta still has to cross the timeline. They just do. 3-on-2, kick out, corner three from Trellenberg. Back iron and out. Smith to Van Landingham. Colden to the top of the key. Vukovic, long three-pointer. Swirls out and around. Here comes Boone the other way. Feeding Blahout on the low block. Dropping back, spinning. No good, ball tipped in the air. North Park basketball. Smith onto Garrison. To Campbell. He'll pop one. His shot too strong. Smith the other way. Poked out from behind. Good chase down defense from Jerome Smith Jr. Luke Smith wanted Ajahong Beta. He'll take a three instead. No good. Boone's putback is in. Wanted a whistle for some contact. Doesn't get it. Blue Jays will take the 2 points. Down to a 5-point lead. Vukovic with a great cutting. Van Landingham. That quick movement from VLH. Ajahong Beta from the arc. Missed his first 3 shots from deep. Finally takes the lid off the cup. Hoping that sparks the sharp shooting Elmhurst three-point attack that has not been there tonight. Campbell can't save it. Out of bounds, Blue Jay basketball. Great job from Aiden Boone to drop down. Marquise Vance back on the floor. He'll replace Garrison. 4:29 remaining, 4-point ball game. Coming down to the wire in Elmhurst. Blahout onto Smith, over to Ajahong Beta. Big size advantage for Ajahong Beta on Jerome Smith Jr. Vikings pull a switch, kick out, corner three from Boone. It's true. 1-point Viking lead. Boone's got 18. Tied for the game high with Vukovic. Turnaround jumper from Campbell connects. Ajahong Beta crossing up Vukovic. Going back to the hot hand. Boone opts for another look. Aiden at the top of the key. On to Blahout. Trellenberg swung to the corner. Smith, three, but a whistle. Jerome Smith Jr. trying to plead his case to no avail. There's a chance for Luke Smith to tie this ball game at 74 all. Smith just one shot at the line today. He made it on the year, 81%. The Elmhurst student section, well populated today and getting into the energy. 3:18 to go from R.A. Fagenal Hall. This one coming down to the last few moments. Who needs a t-shirt cannon when you got an arm like that? That'll get a student fired up. Some free merch. Out of the timeout, Luke Smith to the line. Fouled on his attempted three-pointer by Jerome Smith Jr. A chance to notch this up at 74-74. Coming off of a 14-point performance against the Pioneers. This would be his 10th point of the night. Vikings with 3 timeouts remaining, Blue Jays with 2. Each team with 5 fouls in this second half. Julian Campbell, top of the key. On to Vukovic. Mike circling around some defenders. Kick out for Jerome Smith. Got Luke Smith to bite. Julian Campbell tries the jumper. Off the mark. Van Landingham tried a sneak attack steal. Cornish back on in place of Campbell.
Cornish back in for North Park.
LaHoot crosses the logo. Has a step on Vukovic. Kick out to the corner. Trelenberg nailed it, but the shot waved off. A whistle beforehand. Second foul called on Vukovic. Smith to Ajahong Beta. Shot blocked by Van Landingham. Ajahong Beta sent to the hardwood. Colden all the way and in. The only way to approach these final 2 minutes is one possession at a time. Smith pulling a long three, wide left. Trelenberg the rebound. Ball on the ground. Vance tied up down low with Smith. And a jump ball. Elmhurst has won games this year on opponents not boxing them out. Think back to the Aiden Boone game winner against North Central. Nobody accounted for Trelenberg down low on the left side. Trelenberg to the corner for Smith. His three-pointer. Gives the Blue Jays the lead. Vance on the other end. Ajahong Beta. Going for the exclamation point of a block. Smith, nothing but chords. And the crowd loving what they're seeing. Some first down celebrations from the Elmhurst student athletes in attendance. Foul called on Luke Smith, not Ajahong Beta. A minute 49 to go. 77-76. The Blue Jays have taken the lead. Quick score updates. Aiden Boone leads all scorers with 21 points now, not to mention 7 rebounds. Vinny Ajahong Beta with a 12-point, 11-rebound double-double. Smith's triple brought him to lucky number 13 for scoring. And Dominic Trelenberg with 15 and 7. 4 starters in double digits. Sebastian Blahout right behind them with 7. For North Park, Vukovic and Van Landingham have given North Park 34 points. 18 for Vukovic, 16 for Van Landingham. Julian Campbell off the bench. Very quiet 15-point night not to mention 6 rebounds. Other than that, Vance with 9, Jerome Smith with 7. Up in the Van Male Fieldhouse, Carthage leads by 6 against the Carroll Pioneers, 57-51. The Firebirds up. Again, a reminder, if Elmhurst can complete this game with a victory, and what a victory it would be to come back after leading for essentially none of it. A statement on senior day regardless. A Carthage loss to Carroll would bump up the Blue Jays to number 2 in the conference standings behind Illinois Wesleyan. They would earn a bye into the tournament semifinals. Tournament will be played first round matchups at the higher seed. And then all the action inside the Shirk Center in Bloomington. All 3 officials at the scores table can only mean one thing. We have an official review. Switching the call to an offensive foul. That certainly turned some tides. One-point lead for the Blue Jays to inbound. Trellenberg to Smith. Guarded by Smith. Luke crosses the logo. Eyes on the cup. Pass over to Boone. Boone almost threw it out of bounds. Good save from Ajahong Beta. 10 to shoot for Vinny. Vinny to Blahut. Sebastian to Trellenberg. Quick release three-pointer. Off the mark. And a whistle called. Ajahong Beta to the line. Third foul called on Mike Vukovic, who tried to wrap around Ajahong Beta. Cornish off, Campbell on. Blue Jays in the single bonus. Ajahong Beta can't convert the first half of the 1-1. He's now 3 of 7 from the stripe tonight. Minute remaining, down low to Campbell, shot denied into the hands of Jerome Smith. Van Landingham for 3, bullseye! Timeout on the floor, under a minute to go from R.A. Faganell Hall. Van Landingham stuns and silences the home crowd. Still a minute to go, another look. Campbell tried to win the battle down low. Ajahong Beta sent it right into the hands of Jerome Smith. Kick out back to Van Landingham. A reigning member of the D3Hoops.com National Team of the Week. He had 2 game winners a week ago. A last-second field goal at Augustana and one against Wheaton. Could that be the dagger in this one? Back to a 2-point Viking lead, 79-77. Van Landingham takes the throne of North Park's leading scorer tonight with 19. Vukovic still at 18. Campbell with 15. 4 different Blue Jays in double digits. Any one of those 5 on the floor can give the 13th year head coach John Baines a bucket. Trying to send this crowd home happy with a senior day sweep. The women easily took care of business. The men in a much tighter contest. Vikings with 8 fouls. The Blue Jays in the single bonus. Elmhurst just with 5 fouls. Plenty of players with 3 fouls. Nobody with 4. Van Landingham, after missing his first 3 shots from beyond the arc, calls his own number. The 3-point shooting has not been there today for Elmhurst. 28% for a team that averages 37% from deep, a top 40 mark in Division III. North Park traveled a healthy crowd. They're trying to celebrate in the suburbs. LaHoop with his nose plugged. Up to Luke Smith, to Ajahong Beta. Vinny looking for an option, he's got Luke. In front of his own bench, Smith, picked up by Smith. Luke on the ground, over to Aiden Boone. Timeout called by John Baines, 7 seconds remain on the shot clock. Great defensive stand from Jerome Smith. Plenty of flashy handles from the first-year guard from Addison Luke Smith, but he gets sent to the hardwood. Talon Pearson to the scorer's table to check in. Blue Jays with 1 stoppage remaining. Vikings have 2 of them. These 2 teams played 40 minutes of outstanding basketball a month ago inside Carlson Gymnasium. To be expected, we were going to get more of the same tonight. They've delivered that promise and then some. North Park trying to climb to 500 in conference play. Elmhurst trying to give themselves a chance to flip-flop with Carthage and take the 2 seed in the CCIW Conference Tournament. And Ed McGee will burn one of his timeouts. a 30-second. Quick score update up in Wisconsin. Carthage trailing by a point to the Pioneers. Carroll 62-61 over the Firebirds. Again, if Carroll can hold on and win and Elmhurst can shock North Park, Elmhurst takes the 2 seed. 4 seconds for Trellenberg. His three-pointer too strong. Ajahong Beta the putback rejected by Cornish, but a whistle. Will not be a shooting foul, will be a jump ball. Cornish. No contact with the body. Clean defensive play. North Park basketball with 28 seconds to go. No separation between shot clock and game clock. Harrison Long back on the floor. And another official review coming up, I imagine. This crew has been whistle happy, and the way everyone reacted, it felt like we were going to see some shots from the stripe. With those 2 thumbs towards the sky. Vukovic, Van Landingham, Smith, Campbell, Long. To come into RA Saginaw Hall and beat the Blue Jays. It's only been done once this season. Elmhurst is 11-1 on their own court. Pearson, Ajahong Beta, Trellenberg, Marshall, and Blahout, the 5 on the floor for Elmhurst. Van Landingham to inbound. To Vukovic. Gets past Marshall. Up the floor to Long. Long not able to get his pass off in time. He's fouled from behind. Shot clock is turned off. 25 seconds on the dot remain. The next foul for the Blue Jays will put North Park at the line for a 1-and-1. To the cup for Campbell. And there's foul number 7. Third foul for Ajahong Beta tonight. And we're at another review. Two minutes to go in the Van Mael Fieldhouse. Carthage has retaken the lead over Carroll 65-64. Michael McNabb held to just 13 points so far for the Pioneers. Peyton McKenna, the only other Carroll member in double digits with 11. For the Firebirds, leading scorer Riley Brooks with 16. Ryan Johnson, 14, Nesbitt, and A.J. Johnson each with 9.
flagrant foul has been charged to Ajahong.
And it's a flagrant foul on Ajahong Beta, so Campbell going to the line. Yet to shoot from the stripe today. The big fella can knock him down. 72% from the line this season. Left it short. This rowdy Elmhurst crowd getting into the mind of Julian Campbell. Aiden Boone replacing Ajahong Beta. Van Landingham sends it a long way over to Jerome Smith, and Blahout forced to foul. Cornish and Vance back on the floor. Luke Smith and Ajahong Beta immediately back out for the Blue Jays. Jerome Smith Jr. to the line. He is not the guy Elmhurst wanted to foul. 89% this season. He can't convert either. Ajahong Beta the rebound. Shot clock turned off for Dominic Trellenberg. His team down by 2. Ajahong Beta driving on Cornish. Across the left side and a whistle. Cornish the culprit. E.J. Marshall ready to check in. Another look. Is going to be curious to see how Elmhurst wanted to attack. The three-point shooting has not been there tonight. They feed the big man, and spinning across inside the paint, Ajahong Beta draws the foul, and he makes this a one-point ball game. Ajahong Beta 4 of 8 tonight. 5 of 9, we're tied. 11.2 to go, 79 all. Harrison Long back on the floor in place of Marquise Vance. Jerome Smith crosses the logo and uses the final Viking timeout. What a ball game we have on our hands. 7.3 to go, 79 all, and playoff implications on the line for both programs from R.A. Fagenal Hall. Colvin Van Landingham, 2-game winners in the last few ball games. Up to Vukovic, desperation heave, and he's fouled. He's fouled by Sebastian Blahout. Mike Vukovic from the logo put up a heave, and Blahout, the senior, whacks him. No time remaining on the clock, and this will draw another official review. Van Landingham tried to drive, ran into Julian Campbell. It looked like a busted play. Vukovic then from nowhere near the arc put up a prayer. And Blahout with contact. This has been the 4th straight nail biter for North Park men's basketball. 79-77 victory at Augustana, 95-92 victory at home against Wheaton, a 5-point loss at home to Illinois Wesleyan, and now whatever this game has spiraled into. Blahout hoping that it gets waved off, burying his head into a towel. Blahout, who was not in action against Carroll after sustaining an injury, he did give John Baines 22 minutes on Valentine's Day against North Central, but did not appear 4 days later against Carroll. Did everything he could to be available today for his senior day. Extra padding on that right leg. And the North Park cheer should tell you all you need to know. 0.3 seconds on the clock. And 3 shots for Mike Vukovic.
Michael Vukovic at the free throw line. 3 shots.
And the Viking faithful rise to their feet.
Smith back for the BlueJays.
Vukovic now five of 8 from the line today. And it's a 2-point Viking lead. Elmhurst uses their final timeout. Let's see what magic John Baines can draw up. Mike Vukovic's 3-pointer that he was fouled on was a prayer. Elmhurst is going to need the whole rosary. .44 seconds to go in Wisconsin. Carthage 69, Carroll 67. Have to imagine the only words said by Coach McGee in that huddle: do not foul. 0.3 of a second to go. Trellenberg to inbound. The down court heave. Batted away by Van Landingham. And Colden lets everyone know this is the Vikings' house. Vikings waving everyone goodbye. They stun the Elmhurst Senior Day. 81-79 our final. Just the second home loss for the Blue Jays all season, and it comes in a heartbreaking, gut-wrenching way. North Park climbs to 15-10 on the year. They move to 500 in conference play. Elmhurst now 17-8. And have all but secured the 3rd seed in the 6-team CCIW tournament. One final look at the numbers from this contest. Aiden Boone led all scorers with 21 points and 7 rebounds. He was flanked by his teammates, Dominic Trellenberg with 15, Vinny Adrahungbeta with 14, and Luke Smith with 13. Sebastian Blahout on his senior day, 7 points, 2 rebounds. For North Park, Mike Vukovic led the way with 20 points and 7 rebounds and 5 assists. Colden Van Landingham, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And off the bench, Julian Campbell, very fine, 15 points, 6 rebound performance. Elmhurst has gone quiet. A very sour ending to senior day. The Blue Jay women can hold their heads high with a blowout victory. As I wait for John Baines to join me up top. Now joined by coach of the Blue Jays, John Baines. We'll let you get set up, Coach. Walk me through those last 2 minutes of action the best you can.
You know, I know they called that a flagrant. They said they looked at it. I wasn't too happy with it in live time, but, you know, if they looked at it, and that's what it is. You missed 2 free throws anyway. So, I mean, we had our chances. You know, they played a good game. They led for 35 minutes of that game. And I think they came at us. I don't think we played as physical and as tough as we needed to, just with the ball. But kudos to them. It was a big win for them.
The three-point shooting, not to your standard today, 28% from beyond the arc. Down the stretch, you started to see some more shots go in from deep. Was there ever a point where you were shifting away from the three-point shooting today?
You know, we were in the huddles saying we wanted to get in the paint and we needed to get to the free throw line. It wasn't like that, but I felt like we were getting some pretty good looks. We just, ones that we normally make, they put a lot of pressure on you. You know, I think it kind of rushes you a little bit, and we had some rush threes that we probably could have gotten a better look, but it was a close game. I mean, we've been playing a lot of these types of games, and, you know, when you play a lot of these, you're going to have one that you don't win. And we will be playing on Tuesday, and I bet you it's going to be another close one.
Have you been able to look ahead to Tuesday at all?
I don't know who we're playing. We could be playing North Park again. We could be playing Carroll. I don't know if we can play Wheaton, but one of those, that's who we'll have. We really need to get ourselves into the semifinal game. You know that we got a home game, and hopefully we can make that jump and get to the Final Four of the league. And you know, we've been here before. In 2020, we've been 3 times. You know, we put ourselves in a position that we've got a good seed, a good home game, and we got to respond and play well, and then see what we got if we can get that game.
Would there be any preference to play North Park, having just seen them?
I don't have any preference. We're going to play a good team regardless of who we play. We've played Wheaton, two very close games. We've played Carroll. We've split with them, and now we split with North Park. There's no preference there. It's everybody's got a different style, and I'm just glad we got a home game.
You said some great words before the game about your seniors. Do you have any final thoughts for them?
Great dudes, man. They're great dudes. They play their butts off. They're great teammates. I can say this without, I know everybody, like, coaches kind of, you know, have coach speak. I haven't had one issue with guys, the pouting or the not playing hard or any of the stuff that all these coaches across the nation are saying. My team right now, it's February, the dog. My guys are still playing hard, and it's all because of our leadership. And Dom and Seb and Witch have been awesome, and the guys have followed their lead. And we lost the game tonight. It wasn't because of leadership or work ethic. They played a good game, and we came up short. But that group of seniors has really, they've galvanized us for the season.
Well, I know you're going to be playing hard on Tuesday, so I'll let you break down and say whatever you have to your team. Best of luck on Tuesday's matchup. I know today didn't go your favor, but here's hoping Tuesday does.
Hi, me too. Thanks, guys.
Head coach of the Blue Jays, John Baines. Once again, reporting the final score from R.A. Falconer Hall. North Park 81, Elmhurst 79. The Vikings pull off not necessarily the upset, but certainly the road stunner and ruined senior day for the Blue Jays. One final time from RA Fagenal Hall, from my producer, Rich Forsman, I'm Sam Corbett, signing off from the campus of Elmhurst University. Thank you for joining us on this CCIW basketball doubleheader. The regular season's over. Playoff basketball from here on out on the CCIW Network.